Welcome to this new episode of Serial for November 2024. So, like every month, I'm going to look at photos I took or edited in the previous months. And we'll start immediately with two pictures taken with one of my favorite cameras, the Pentax QS1. I've been testing it for years. I love that format. It's an interchangeable lens, mirrorless camera. From a while back now, the sensor is getting pretty old. I would love for Pentax to use the success from the Pentax 17 to update this camera, because the lenses are great, the form factor is great, the results, in my opinion, are great. But here it's very low light, concert photography, here using the 0.6 zoom lens, which is basically a 70 to 280 millimeter f2.8 lens. But here I still have to push the sensor at 12,800 ISO. Even so, it has a good stabilizer, but for concert photography, sometimes wants faster captures. So yeah, I didn't put those in black and white. I kind of like the grain. It's better in black and white, but here it's a perfect deliberate choice. That was during the In Innipukin Festival in August, but I didn't empty my card until now. So yeah, it was kind of a surprise, and that small festival was the occasion to see, like on those two next pictures, a lot of musicians. Those first pictures are all at the Ronken bar in Reykjavik. This theremin player actually it's a good indication of what that 70 to 280 lens is able to do. I'm at 280 on the left, 70 millimeter on the right. There's a mirror, and so you actually see that you don't really see me. You can kind of guess where I am on the picture on the right. Difficult, and it shows how invisible this camera is. I would really love for Pentax to go forward and make a new QS2 or whatever. But yeah, really love that camera. Even in low lights like this, I kind of like the grain. In better situations like here, where I think I'm at 6,000 something, 6,400 ISO, because I'm using the 0.1 lens, which is the prime 47mm f1.9 lens. That's in Coffee Button. It's another concert. Tends to go on the reds like usual. When you push the lowlights of your raw files, you get this really interesting grain, which is very unique for the Pentax QS1 and actually the Q series. I think it's really interesting because a camera like that's completely invisible. It's not like a smartphone, but very close, except you have different kind of lenses. You do have the real estate of a real lens, which you probably have on some more modern phones, which I don't have, but I'll probably have one soon. But here, yeah, really cool because it gives you an idea. It's basically at the same time how you can tell two very different stories. One is a concert photography classic on the left, and the other one is just, I kind of like the story between those two, this couple. Anyhow, when you give more light to this sensor, it's actually really sharp, really good, and these are two examples using the same 47mm 0.1 prime lens. Very neutral, but I like it, and the camera is really cool. You kind of forget you have it in the pocket when you have it in the pocket. Here, two other pictures I took with the zoom lens with good lighting. I think it's really interesting. I've always been a fan. Those who followed my series for a long time know it. I will commit to do a video about it once. It's been years I've said I would, but I do have a lot of documents to actually make one. So I'll try to make one as soon as I can. Going to some more traditional cameras. That's M240 from Leica with a Jupiter 3 lens on it. I have a complete video I came out with a few weeks back. That was during Iceland Airwaves Festival. I was testing that Jupiter 3 lens with this kind of old now digital camera. And yeah, I wasn't really focusing on taking pictures all the time, but I was enjoying the festival more than that, but trying to understand that Jupiter 3 and make something out of it in those circumstances. Here are two more pictures. Really enjoyed that lens, actually. It's a lens from the Soviet era. If you're interested, go see the video. There's lots more of pictures using it, but also a great festival. And same equipment here. Also one thing, something I do regularly is when I have some place or object, subject, person, which I find really interesting, I try to turn around and try to understand it in different ways. depending on the work I want to do with. And here's this tennis court that's kind of intriguing with this fence. And I was really interested in how the Jupiter 3 rendered the fence that's on the foreground that's completely blurry. And so I went around a few times, took different pictures, and yeah, it's interesting how you can really portray places differently just by running around at different times. Here we're staying in Soviet era lenses. That's a Jupiter 850mm f2.0, more classical, really affordable lens, like most of the Soviet era lenses. This one's really cheap financially speaking, but it's a great optical formula. Someone asked me to focus a little bit on them because I have quite a lot of experience with them through the years. I have to get some others back to readapt myself to them, but I have a Jupiter 8, so I've been practicing a little bit. And here are two pictures of two different hospital buildings in Reykjavik, which I found interesting. They're way above the rest of the houses, and you have those 360 glass rooms on top of their towers. The picture on the left, that's a Fossvogur hospital east of Reykjavik, and the one on the right, that's in the center. Now it's a geriatric hospital, I believe, and supposedly, I didn't check, but you have an incredible view of the volcano when the volcano happens near Reykjavik. But I thought it was interesting to document it like this, and using this lens. Again, same lens, same camera, the M240. On the left, that's a cat from Reykjavik. If you like cats, I'm not a big fan of cats, but they're kind of fun in Iceland. But you have a lot of social media accounts on cats of Reykjavik, and they're pretty funny. So here's one of those cats. He's actually interested in this Jupiter 8 lens, obviously. Even so, he's tiny on the screen, but I thought the composition was nice, this garden in the suburbs. And on the right, on a sunny day, this really soft and creamy bokeh from that Jupiter lens. That's in my kitchen, but I thought it was a really nice, I don't know, it's a cozy picture. Here on the left, same equipment, always this Jupiter 8 lens during a concert that's Leica. And here I just wanted to show how important it is, in my opinion, to change equipment regularly, go to film, go to other kind of material, of tools. Some people, I kind of react to what people usually say, oh, every camera is a good camera. Yeah, okay. Yeah, if you want to take a picture. But if you know a little bit more of what the kind of picture you want to take, it's not taking the same pictures. That's at the same time. I'm obviously the same photographer. On the right, I was kind of testing the Pentax 17, and on the left, kind of testing the Jupiter. Mainly, I was enjoying the concert. It was great. I think you really need to figure out what you want to do and find the equipment that is good for you. And that doesn't mean buying the cheapest or buying the most expensive, but maybe it is. And that's only if you practice and understand what you have in your hands and try to get a feel of. Here, the Pentax 17. If you like to know more about the Pentax 17, I just did a full review of 6 months of intense use of that new camera, film camera, half frame. So go and check it. Lots more pictures. But here I'll focus on this TMax 3200 film I did recently, and that was during the Iceland Airwaves Festival. On the left, that's at 12 Tonar, a vinyl sales shop that transforms into a concert place with DJs. Or on the right, at Gaukurin, where you'll get more extreme kind of musics also sometimes, or some cabaret. Yeah, great camera. Again, here during my test in the neighborhood of Reykjavik, you have film. I love TMax also film. I know many people don't actually use it, stick to Tri-X in black and white or Ilford or whatever, FOMA, or some other great emulsions. I like the TMax, and it's kind of rigid grain. Here, two more last pictures with the TMax and the Pentax 17. On the left, the flash thing is not a light leak. It's actually a branch of something, but it's not you don't see through the lens when you use the Pentax 17. So I remember trying to have something through the bushes. That's what I got with the flash. And on the right, I kind of like this neo-bourgeois look of this garden. I don't know if neo-bourgeois is a good term, but I like the garden. Change of camera. I'm also testing kind of a kitsch 80s looking Olympus LT1 camera with a f3.5 lens on it. It wasn't a very well graded, well rated camera, but from an era where Olympus was making really great small cameras, film cameras. And that's using film, which is Flic film Elektra 100. I think it's basically Aerocolor from Kodak. Yeah, I'm testing this camera because it's got a look. It's basically looks like leather, and you have a strap that goes in front of the lens. Kind of looked cool and kind of kitsch. But so 2 pictures of my first tests with this camera. More coming up. And here to finish this first part for serial, that's the TT Artisan 90mm f1.25 lens I've been testing for quite a few months because I think it's huge, but it's really great. And that was the SL2 body. And yeah, 2 images with those very low angled lights in Iceland, in the periphery of Reykjavik. A very cold day, I remember. And yeah, that's the end of the first part. So don't hesitate. Questions, comments, suggestions are always welcome. Yeah, and catch you next time.